Hey guys, John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here, and today, January 27th, Apple and Steve Jobs finally took the wraps off their much rumored and much hyped tablet, officially called the iPad. Rumors of iSlate and a whole bunch of other ones have been circulating, but iPad is the official name. So I want to run you through the specs of the device and tell you about it and give you a recap of what Apple announced today. So first, it is half an inch thin, which is incredibly thin. Weighs in at 1.5 pounds. If you see me look down, it's because I got some notes. The conference just ended. It's got a 9.7-inch capacitive display, which uses LED backlighting technology. It's going to come in six different flavors, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Storage-wise, it's going to be either 16, 32, or 64 gigabyte capacities. It's running a Apple-built 1 gigahertz chip. It's called the Apple A4 chip. It's built by PA Semi, a company Apple acquired a little while back. It's got Bluetooth 2.1. It's got 802.11n wireless. It's got a speaker, a mic, and a 30-pin connector. It has 10 hours of battery life, or over a month on standby, and that's 10 hours of actual video viewing. So it's a pretty substantial battery. Nowhere on what the size is, but it certainly looks to be substantial. And of course, that's built in and non-removable. It can run all iPod and Touch and all iPhone applications at launch. There will be apps that are specific just to the iPad, but any apps that can run on the iPhone or iPod Touch will run perfectly and scaled up, of course, on the iPad, and of course they'll run in full screen as well. We'll talk about apps a little bit more in a minute. Apple also announced a new application on the iPad. It's going to be called iBook, so it's going to be a standalone app that'll be next to the App Store or iTunes, and it is what you'd expect. It is a complete online bookstore. Very colorful interface. Apple is now in the ebook retailing market using the open EPUB format, which I'm sure they'll probably put some restrictions on. You can easily connect to a projector if you want to read it on a bigger screen. Books are going to run $4.99 and up. They've got connections with some of the major publishers, so they'll be getting new releases right off the bat. And that'll be available when the iPad launches, which we'll get to in just a moment. They also announced a new version of iWork for the iPad. And for those who don't know what iWork is, it's Apple's version of, let's say, Microsoft Office with a spreadsheet, a presentation program, and a word editing program. Completely modified for the touch screen. They're going to be standalone applications that'll be downloadable for $9.99 each. You'll be able to pick those up right from the App Store, and again, you can connect that right to a projector and show them up on a big screen. Pretty handy, I suppose. It's going to sync over USB. In case you're wondering, it's got the 30-pin connector, the same one that you use for your iPhone or iPod Touch. It is 3G connected, or you're going to have the option of 3G connectivity. If you want 3G connectivity, it's going to be over AT&T. Rumors have been circulating about perhaps a Verizon version, but that was not announced, just AT&T. It's going to be a very reasonable $29.99 per month for unlimited data, or $14.99 for 250 megabytes of data. And that's no contract required. You can cancel at any time. You can activate it right on the iPad itself. It is going to be unlocked, so you can pop in any other SIM card, but it's going to be using the micro SIM. So we're going to have to do sort of a new SIM card. So if you want to use a T-Mobile SIM card, you can do that, but you're going to have to get some sort of micro SIM to put in and pay T-Mobile sort of standard data rates. From a price point and data rate, I think that's very fair. So there are going to be 6 versions of this that are going to be available. You'll be able to get the 16, 32, or 64 version without 3G, or get the 16, 32, or 64 gig versions with 3G. So here are the pricing. It starts at $4.99 for the 16 gig without 3G, and without 3G, the pricing goes for 16 gig, $4.99, for 32 gig without 3G, $5.99, and for 64 gig without 3G, $6.99. And the non-3G version is going to be shipping within 60 days. Now, if you want 3G, it's going to have to wait an additional 30 days to ship, so 90 days total. And here's pricing with 3G. 16 gig is going to be $629, 32 gig is going to be $729, and 64 gig is going to be $829. So you're going to be able to run from $829 at the high end down to $499 on the low end. So you should be able to find the model that suits you best. They announced a slew of accessories as well. Keyboard, dock, so things sits right into it. It's going to have a case and some other dock accessories. It takes advantage of an on-screen keyboard for typing. It's a full on-screen keyboard. It is a 9.7-inch screen, so you actually will be able to do full typing on it. The videos that they showed, it does look pretty smooth, but I'm kind of yet to be seen as to what 3G typing is going to look and feel like. With the iPad, Apple is sort of once again a victim of their own successes. The rumor mill had been going crazy about what the tablet was going to have, and didn't end up having everything people expected. There were rumors of a front-facing camera and multitasking. They really didn't show any of that. The operating system looks very similar to what's found on the iPhone and iPod Touch. There are some pull-down notifications that you can see, and it seems to be a pretty constant theme throughout it. So, whether or not this is going to be for you is going to be yet to be seen. The device is capable of playing YouTube HD. It can play video content right in the browser, not using Flash. They demonstrated some New York Times applications and others, including MLB, to be able to watch live MLB games. There will be apps that are just specific for the iPad, but those won't be available until launch, of course. But any application that will work with the iPhone will also work with the iPad. So what do you guys think about the iPad? Personally, I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to be a pretty good sort of couch surfing device. It's certainly not going to replace anybody's laptop. One thing they didn't mention was file storage. If I use the iWork application and I create a Word document or an iWork document, and I create and edit it and make it perfect, how am I going to save that to my device? Is the storage, there's either the 32, 16, or 64 gigs, is that just for audio? Is that just for movies? Is that just for books? Or can I store actual files on it? That really has yet to be seen. Of course, it'll sync with iTunes, put all your content over, including all your movies. There will be a version of iTunes that will ship with it, be able to download TV, movies, and music right over Wi-Fi or the AT&T 3G network if you opt for that version. I think this is going to disappoint a lot of people. There was so much promise what the tablet was going to do. I personally thought we were going to see some sort of magazine subscriptions integrated. We didn't see that. And the text interface is just an on-screen keyboard. Essentially what we have is a bigger, thinner iPod Touch. No mention of phone call connectivity, but I would assume that you'll be able to download the Skype application and make phone calls using the built-in microphone for that. So there will be calling, I suppose, over voice over IP. 9.7 inches is a very nice screen. If you've gone to Best Buy or local retailer and you've seen 10-inch netbooks, you can sort of see what the size is going to be. It does look relatively thin and nice, easy to slip into a bag. Of course, it has an accelerometer, so you can rotate any direction you want, and you can edit your pictures sort of right on the device and sync them up over Wi-Fi if you use a Mac or PC. So I'm very curious what you guys think about the iPad. Are you excited? Are you not excited? Do you care? Not care? Are you going to buy one? And if you are going to buy one, which version? Anyway, guys, stay tuned to Techno Buffalo for all of the iPad updates. We have a ton of videos coming up and a lot of coverage. Nothing was mentioned about iPhone OS 4.0 or any sort of new iPhone or Mac updates. It was just on the tablet. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm John Rettinger, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.